Welcome to another chatty art video. Today I'm going to talk a bit about what my art is all about and why I create. You can watch along while I show you a couple of the paintings that I'm currently working on. I started creating art when I was very young, like I think a lot of people did. Finger painting and crayons were the best mediums for getting curious about new things. It was so satisfying to just play with the materials and try to get the images out of my brain and onto the paper. I look back on the exploration and creativity that I used to have as a child and wonder where that went. Somewhere along the way, my art practice became an outlet for my competitive streak. I became the art kid. I was known for carrying around a sketchbook and drawing in class, and I would often get in trouble for doing so. People would ask to see my drawings, and I had to have something good to show them. I certainly wasn't the only one, or even the best, of the art kids. But I was one of the good art students and had a reputation to uphold. I was the favorite of the art teachers, and I had something to prove. As I reflect on where my art practice is now, I don't like that I see some similarities from then and now. I've found that my art has no real meaning. Sometimes it's just nice to look at. Sometimes I paint things just to prove to myself that I'm capable. Sometimes I'm inspired by a color, like this green painting I did, based on a scene from a dream that I had. I wanted to capture the vibrancy of the color green and being surrounded by larger-than-life nature. I create the art that I want to see on the walls. My inspiration comes from anything I see that is beautiful. Some of my favorite subjects have been hands, roses, fruits, plants, and color. I love landscapes and still lifes. These are some of the little things in life that I want to capture to make my art beautiful. Whenever I try to make art with meaning, I find it unappealing to look at. And maybe that would be the point, that some of the most meaningful emotions and thoughts are uncomfortable to perceive. That's certainly something I've found when exploring my own emotions. Perhaps I make art as yet another form of escapism. Like, surely life isn't that bad and ugly. If I can create something beautiful, I can ignore my problems for a while if I focus on making something look pretty. And I think that is the kind of art that other people want to buy. We are all looking for something beautiful to distract us from the mundane and sometimes painful parts of life. And I think that's why we buy art, flowers, plants, pretty furniture, warm lights, good food, aesthetic drinks. Those are the things in life that make it all worth it. While I respect artists who make meaningful, powerful statement art, it simply isn't for me. I try it, but it feels forced. Or I try to make the meaning less obvious and more subtle, but then what's the point? If you have to guess at or really think about the meaning of art, why do it that way? Why not make the important points as loudly as you possibly can? I've also seen that this style of art, while it can be important and culturally relevant, is nearly impossible to sell, except maybe to museums. average consumers just don't want art that makes them feel uncomfortable. I'm open to the idea that this isn't entirely true or won't be true in the future. But this is just what I've observed, and not to be a doomer about how art is dead, but most artists don't have the ability to create art without it being marketable. That's just how a lot of artists have to think about their practice. This reflection is also a way that I like to break down creative blocks. If I'm not sure of what to paint, I remind myself of why I paint. This allows me to find something beautiful, grab a brush, and get going on the process. With all of that said, that is a peek into what my art is about and why I continue to create. Another solid reason why I create is because I'm still studying and trying to improve my skills, but that is a whole separate video topic. Thank you for listening to my ramblings about art, and I hope you'll like the video to show me that you enjoyed it, and subscribe to see my next works of art in my next videos.